Sarah, a woman who waited. A diary of faith, doubt, and promise. Intro. There's a woman in the Bible whose story most people think they know. They know her as Abraham's wife, the mother of Isaac, a matriarch of faith. But if you slow down, really slow down and read her story, really read it, you find something far more honest, far more human. You find a woman who packed up her entire life on the word of a God she was still learning to trust. A woman who was asked to do things that made absolutely no sense. A woman who laughed, not with joy, but with the tired, hollow laugh of someone who has stopped believing the promise will ever come. Her name was Sarai, later Sarah. And today we're reading her story the way it was never written, but perhaps the way it was always felt. This is her diary. Entry 1, The Leaving. Genesis 11:27 to 12:5. The days since Terah died have been heavy with silence. My father-in-law was not a perfect man. He left Ur years ago, headed for Canaan, but stopped short in Haran. He built a life there instead of finishing the journey, and now he is gone. Abraham is not sleeping. I can tell it in the way he lies still, too still in the dark. Something is stirring in him, something I cannot name yet. Then he told me. He said God spoke to him. That God told him to leave his country, his people, his father's household, to go to a land that God himself would show us. Not a land with a name, not a land with a map, a land he will show us. I'm 65 years old. Abram is 75. We have no children, and my husband is asking me to leave everything I know for a destination that exists only in a voice he heard in the night. I should have been afraid. Perhaps I was, just a little. But I looked at Abram's face and I believed him. So I packed. Lot came with us, Abraham's nephew, young and full of his own ideas. But family is family, and the road ahead was long. We took everything we had built, everything we owned, the servants, the livestock, the tent poles, and the memories. We left Haran, and we walked toward a promise that had no address. Entry 2, The Promise and the Shame. Genesis 12:7 to 20. God has spoken to Abram again. We reached Canaan, this land, and at a great tree called Moreh near Shechem, God appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." Offspring? He said offspring. I stood a little apart when Abram told me. I did not let him see my face. Offspring? We'd been married for decades. I am barren, unable to bear children. Everyone knows it. I've known it so long that the grief has become ordinary, like a scar you stop noticing until someone touches it. And God is promising offspring. I did not know what to do with that. But there was no time to sit with it. A famine came. Abram decided that we should go to Egypt to survive, since that was the only place nearby that had food in abundance. And then, on the road, he said something that turned my stomach to ice. He said, "Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me to take you. Please, Sarai, say you are my sister, so that it will go well with me because of you, and my life will be spared because of you." My life will be spared, he said. He said absolutely nothing about my life. I was taken into Pharaoh's palace, treated as a prize, and Abram received sheep and cattle and donkeys and servants because of me. I will not write what those days felt like. Some things have no words. God struck Pharaoh's household with serious diseases because of me. Pharaoh called Abraham and sent us away, angry and confused. He had done nothing wrong, and he knew it. And so we left Egypt. Abram never fully apologized, not in the way I needed. But I stayed, because where else was there to go? And because in the darkness of the room in Pharaoh's house, I had prayed, and I felt heard. That was something. It had to be something. Entry 3. The division of the land. Genesis 13:1-18. Lot and Abram argued today, not with anger exactly, but with the quiet tension of two men whose herds had grown too large for the same pasture. Abram did something that totally surprised me. He gave Lot the first choice. Now he's the elder, the one with the promise. He could have claimed the best land and no one would have questioned it. Instead, he spread his hands toward the whole land and said, "If you go left, I'll go right. If you go right, I'll go left." Lot looked at the Jordan Valley, lush, well-watered, green like Egypt, and he chose it. He took his herds and his family, and he went towards Sodom. I watched him go and said not a word. And then God spoke again. "Abram, look around from where you are, north, south, east, west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make sure your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone can count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you." Offspring again. I was watching my husband receive promise after promise about children. I have been barren my entire life. I am trying to trust. I am trying to hold on to something, but I will not pretend it is easy to hear the word offspring spoken over a womb that has never quickened. God, if you are listening, I, Sarai, am here too. Entry 4. The covenant. Genesis 15:1-21, Genesis 17:1-22. Abram told me what happened in the night. God made a covenant with him, a real covenant, the kind sealed in blood and smoke and the fire passing through between the pieces of sacrifice. God promised him descendants as numerous as the stars. He promised him this land from the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates. He promised him that he would father many nations. And then God changed his name. Abram, which meant exalted father, became Abraham, which means father of many. And then God said something that stopped my breath when Abraham told me. He said my name too. Once again, I felt as if God heard me. Not Sarai. I would be known by Sarah going forward. A princess, a mother of nations. God said kings of people will come from me. Me! I am 90 years old. I have never held my own child. My body is long past the season of bearing life. And God is changing my name. Abraham fell face down when God said it. He laughed, not in mockery, but in trembling, overwhelmed way a man laughs when something is too big to hold with dignity. He asked God, "Will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? God said yes. and his name will be Isaac. I do not know how to pray right now. I am holding this promise the way you hold something fragile, not quite daring to grip it fully, afraid that if you believe too hard, the breaking will be worse. Entry 5. Hagar, Genesis 16, 1-16. I need to be honest here because this diary is the only place I can be. I gave Hagar to Abram. I did it. It was my idea, my plan. God had kept me from having children. That is what I told Abram, because if he slept with my Egyptian servant, I could build a family through her. This was legal. This was accepted. Women did this all the time. But I will not pretend I did it from a calm and faithful place. I did not. I did it from desperation, from years and years of watching other women's bodies do what mine would not, from smiling at other people's children and going home and saying nothing. I did it because I stopped waiting on God and started to solve the problem myself. And it went wrong immediately, spectacularly. The moment Hagar knew she was pregnant, she looked at me different. I saw it in her eyes, that shift, as if carrying Abram's child had rearranged everything, as if I had handed her something I could not take back. I blamed Abram, but he said she was my servant and to do whatever I think best. So I treated her harshly. I'm really not proud of this. She ran. An angel of the Lord found her in the desert by a spring of water. He told her to go back. He told her she was carrying a son, Ishmael, which means God hears. He said Ishmael would be a wild man, his hand against everyone's hand against him. And so she came back. When Ishmael was born, Abram was 86. I held this child that was not mine, and I understood quietly, in the way you understand things you cannot say out loud, that I had made a mess of God's plan by trying to run ahead of it. I would carry that understanding for 13 more years. Entry 6. The visitors and the laugh. Genesis 18, 1-15. 3 men came to our tent today. Abraham ran to meet them, which is unusual for a man his age in the heat of the day. He bowed low and insisted they stay. I baked bread, and I stayed inside the tent where women stayed. And then one of them asked, "Where is your wife, Sarah?" Oh, they knew my name. Then another one said, "She will have a son." I was standing just inside the tent entrance listening, and I laughed. Not out loud, in my heart, a small, private, tired laugh. After I'm worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure? Then the voice said, I felt it more than heard it. Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I was afraid, and I said I did not laugh. He said, yes, you did laugh. I stood there in the quiet after that, no argument left in me. Is anything too hard for the Lord? I've been answering that question with my actions for 90 years. Laughing in my heart, doubting in the dark, running ahead with Hagar, protecting myself in Egypt. But that question, is anything too hard for the Lord? It is still sitting in my chest as I write this. It has no answer I can give with my mouth. It only has an answer I will have to live. Sarah's story does not end with the laugh. It ends with Isaac, a real baby, born to a 90-year-old woman who had given up, tried to fix it herself, and laughed at the promise one last time before it arrived. She named him Isaac, as God said, which means he laughs. God kept the name of her doubt and turned it into the name of her miracle. If you're listening to this and you are in a season of waiting, if you have laughed that hollow, you know the one, private laughed in your own heart, if you have tried to run ahead of God's plan because waiting became unbearable, Sarah sees you. More importantly, God asked, "Is there anything too hard for the Lord?" And He sees you too. The question is still waiting for your answer. If you stayed with me and enjoyed this diary of a biblical woman of Sarah's, and you like what you heard, please subscribe and like the video. And I will see you next time for part 2. We'll walk with Sarah through the birth of Isaac, the expulsion of Hagar and Ishmael, and her final years. Please, these women's stories are not finished. I will see you in the next one.